If you have a parent or you know someone that's in there and they will give you permission because you have a connection to say, can I go speak at the next bingo or at the next luncheon or the next whatever it is, and get permission to go in there and say, look, we know you're terrified of the health care bill and we have something. If you write the letters, I'll take them up for you. Or taking the information to them, because they can't necessarily be here. And if you have any sort of connection in senior assisted living homes, and there's a lot in the Henrico area, getting in there and sharing that information will be crucial. The small business owners is another crucial one. Let me give you one or two others, because I want to make sure Joe has his full time. The other thing I would do is I would go to vpap.org, VPAP. I would go to vpap.org, and I would pull up your delegate and state senator, and I would look at who their donors are. You pull their delegate and their state senator, and you look at who in that list you know that gives them money. You might be surprised who you know. And you call contact that friend you have, and you let them know about this bill and say, I need you to call Senator Stosh. You gave him $1,000. He'll listen to you. That has been one of the ways we've gotten as far as we have so far, is we've pulled that maneuver a couple of times. And we have support from the business community when we've looked at the donor list and known. And the last thing I would encourage you to do is two quick things. The other thing is to contact people beyond the Richmond area. So people on your contact list, contact them and let them know if they live in the Virginia, outside the Richmond area. And we have videos that we're making that will be available, and you can send them the links. They can get the training, and then they can go out and do the same thing to their delegates and state senators where they live. So as Joe will tell you when he comes up, the House of Delegates, we think we will get both bills through. And please focus on both bills. We are trying to set a precedent for states' rights, 10th Amendment issues. We don't want one, we want both. And there's a tendency to focus on health care because that's what's on all our minds. But let's stress both are just as important. And don't neglect your delegate, but I will tell you we need to focus on state senators. Those of you that have Senator Watkins and Senator Stosh in this area, we need them on the bill, and they are not on the bill yet. So we need your help in reaching out to them. And the last thing I would tell you is if you don't see your delegate and state senator on January 18th, we all live locally, so go back. Make sure you go back. And make sure you're connected to some sort of an email list, whether it's Richmond Tea Party or virginia10th.org, so that when we have something and we need you to drive up to the General Assembly because something's in committee, or I've got one senator that's stuck, that we can send that alert out and say, Wednesday, 2 o'clock, committee meeting, whoever can show. Because the whole state is going to be depending mostly on you because you're local, and you have the flexibility to run out for an hour and get to that committee hearing. And the people in the Shenandoah Valley and Danville aren't going to have that sort of flexibility. So you are really carrying the torch for the rest of the state to be able to have that flexibility and move. So if you don't see your delegate or state senator on January 18th, you have the rest of January, all of February, and some of March. So thank you, and I look forward to seeing you guys on January 18th.